Hello, my loves. Welcome back to another video here on Starseed Academy. My name is Jenny. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for joining me for another Sunday. So today is going to be one of those videos where I don't know what we're talking about yet. I haven't done this in a while where I just channel live. I think it's nice to have a combination of planned videos and, ooh, what's going to come through videos. And I know that for the next following month, for the month of October, for the 4 weeks that I want to do my Halloween series, it was so fun last year. And so for today, I really didn't have any ideas. And so I just want to see when we tune into God Source and the Galactic Councils, what kind of information is going to come through for us? Is it going to be a message? Is it going to be information about the universe? Like, it could literally be anything, and how fun will that be? So let's do that before we jump into today's video and I start my channeling. I want to let you all know that, a big announcement actually, Psychic Light just reopened for its final round in 2024. So this is the Certified Master Channeling program. Okay, so you become a certified master channeler, able to channel things like higher dimensional beings, God source, ancestors, angels, ascended masters, galactic councils, your own spirit guides, like anything in a higher realm, basically. And what I do is when I'm teaching people, I teach them using my clean and ethical channeling method. And that is the most pure, detailed, and accurate version of channeling. So clean and ethical means the clean part is it's super pure. The ethical part is that we set the ego to the side and make sure that's what's coming through is not coming through your own programming or through your own. We can't help it. We all have egos. We all have patterns. We all have programs. It doesn't come through that. Okay. It comes through a very pure channel. You can set everything to the side. And then it also entails me teaching people how to use the language of the clairs, right? Clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, claircognizance. You become a master of those as well. And you learn how to layer the clairs. So most psychics out there are what I call baby psychics, no diss, but it means that, they think of themselves as a clairvoyant or someone that tunes in. And that is someone only using one channel, or maybe two at the most. And my channelers use all of the four main clairs. All of those channels are open and ready to go. And the information is all coming through in a layered way. Okay, so that I'll save the details of how to do that for the course. But if you are interested in learning how to channel in this really exceptional way, then check out the link in the description below, because we are open for the very last round this year. Okay, let's jump into the video. Just before I start channeling, a part of what makes clean and ethical channeling so powerful is that you never channel without your sacred space. So I have already created that before starting this recording. And that's where you surround yourself with either archangels or ascended masters to hold you in that higher frequency and place a bubble of protection around you. And you connect yourself, you ground yourself, and anchor yourself into the light of divine truth, God source. And you specifically set the intention that everything that you channel through will be anchored in truth, divinely timed and orchestrated for the highest good of all. So that has been done. Okay, just making sure that we're clear on that. I never just start channeling willy-nilly. That's definitely just coming from the person that's channeling. Then it's not coming from that very pure connection. So I am connected. I am ready to go. Am I seeing orbs? I don't know what's happening. I just saw like something. I don't know what I saw. And that was Gus jumping down from the window, in case you saw the curtains move. Nothing creepy. Okay, so we're jumping in. I'm going to start by asking, I am actually being directed to the OverSoul Realm for some reason. So just below God's source, okay, but above the angelic realms. In between that is the OverSoul Realm, where all of us have an Oversoul, okay? This is like almost like a mini source or a mini God. It's like the hub of all of yourselves. It's like right after God source on the tree of life. And we have these big oversouls that branch down into smaller oversouls that branch down into things like soul tribes, and then that branches and separates into two individual people. It just goes and goes and goes down. So right after at the very top of the tree would just be God's source, one bubble. below that would be many large bubbles of these groupings of oversouls or mini gods even. That's the realm I'm tuning into already. Okay, so tuning into the oversoul and asking, what can you share with us and the audience? Think star seeds, think awakened souls, think we're on earth. I am super open, and I just want to curiously ask you if you could talk to us. What would you want to share? What would you like to have a conversation about, oversoul? What do you find interesting? Okay. So right away I'm seeing this vision of space. And space is not clear air the way that we think it is. Or I actually don't think there is air in space, but like what I mean by that, it's not just like empty and then there's something, and empty and then there's something. In between all the things, it's not clear. When we look at the black pictures of outer space, we're like a star, a star, a star, and then it's black in between, but it's not. They're talking about what's in between, and that's called celestial dust. Celestial dust. Okay, so I'm seeing like, imagine like even like sparkles in a way, right? Like think about like shards of stars, like celestial dust. It's extremely sparkly. It's filled with like metals or minerals or the things that stars are made of or the things that you and I are made of. And they're talking about how it's like creation matter. That's what they said, life, and then they change it to creation matter. It's the matter of all creation. It's this dust, and they're showing me like Tinkerbell, like think fairy dust, think like magic. And so this is all throughout space and every galaxy, and it is like the basis, the sand, the elements that everything else is made of. So why are we talking about, what did they say, cosmic dust? Why are we talking about that? So let me just, these are my satellites, by the way. I tune in with my palm chakras. Spirit comes in on the right for me. The reason I close my eyes when I'm channeling is because I'm extremely visual. So I'm always being shown things. And so if I close my eyes, it's just physical eyes. It's just easier for me to see what I'm seeing, Okay, celestial dust. And now they're showing me, they're saying this is not literal. They're saying that, but they're showing me, so all these little specks of dust all open their little eyes. And they're saying, don't be creeped out. This is not literal. All these little specks of dust open their eyes. And they're like, it's the way that God source or the one soul sees. What does that even mean? Okay. So it's because it's an extension of God's source. Okay, think of celestial dust like life force. It's like life force. It's connected to God. It is an extension of God, which I call like the one soul, or Baba, which is my personal nickname for it. So God or the one soul is everywhere. And this is the way that the one soul can be everywhere and see, but not actually see. To see, they're saying, by saying see, we mean experience all things. Because doesn't God source, as we know, just always want to be experiencing everything? That's why we're here, right? We're like little versions of God source, having experiences and playing characters. And because God source is like insatiable for knowledge, for wisdom, right? Not just knowledge, because the truth is that knowledge is just information. You could have that in the higher realms. You never would need to come to earth. But if you want to have wisdom, then it's this mathematical equation where knowledge plus experience equals wisdom, and wisdom alters a soul, knowledge does not. Okay, so there are souls. Oh, more info coming through. There are souls in the higher realms, think angelic realms now. There are souls in the highest dimensional realms that never choose to leave those dimensions. Do not believe that every soul chooses to come to earth or other planets that are in lower realms like 7D, 8D, 5D, 3D, whatever. They don't choose. Not all of them choose to do what we do. Not everybody is going to choose to suffer, but it's suffer for a reason. It's suffer for the equation. It's knowledge plus experience equals wisdom. How do we get wisdom? Well, the knowledge is already in the higher realms. You didn't come to earth for knowledge. I am seeing orbs. You didn't come to Earth for knowledge. You have the knowledge. You have the information. You came here for the experience, because when you put those two things together, knowledge and experience, we're living experiences. We develop the wisdom. Ooh, I just got chills, because that's a soul lesson. That's a soul having lessons. That is a soul acquiring deep wisdom. It alters the soul. It creates this like depth and this richness and layers on the soul, because the soul, the way that it looks, if you had like a cross section, which we would never do, but if you had a cross section of a soul, like you split it in two, you would see at the center is the pure white center, white light, pure white light, straight from God's source. Okay, because when a soul individuates, it's just this pure white light. It is just God's source individuated into something smaller that can go ahead and have lifetimes and experiences. It's a soul that's chosen to individuate so that it can have lifetimes, develop a personality, develop wisdom, which is what we're talking about, because personality really is wisdom too, in a way, right? Anyway, if we cross section a soul, what we see is the purity at the center. That's the life force. That's the cosmic dust, liquefied in a way when it's in a soul, because it's like a strong amount of it, kind of liquidy looking. And then around that in layers are each lifetime that you have, right? So the center is purity of God's source, life force. Some people call it even Holy Spirit. And then the orbs, I just saw one go woo. And then around that, something's touching the top of my head. Oh, wait, I'm having a moment. Sorry. That doesn't happen to me often. I see everything and I hear. I'm clairvoyant, clairaudient, claircognizant to the max. Clairsentience, when you actually feel the spirit realm, is like my lowest clair. It doesn't mean it's not strong, because I'm psychic as fuck, but someone literally just pushed on the top of my head. Okay, I think we're onto something. You get those kinds of like signs when you're really on like a roll of like true and deep information. Okay, what were we talking about? That threw me. We're talking about the layers on a soul that are lifetimes. Okay, so every single lifetime that you've had becomes this like colorful layer on your soul. I always think of it like that candy when I was a kid in the 80s. 90s too. I'm not that old. Gobstoppers, right? Was it gobstoppers? You would eat it and it would change color, change color, change color till you got to the center, because it had like thin candy coatings of all these different layers, and like how many colors could you see, kind of thing. That's like your soul. And every single layer is a lifetime. So it has its own color and its own memories and its own feeling and its own frequency and its own wisdom. We're talking about wisdom right now. And how you like gain that wisdom is the experience. It's like having the fucking guts to, okay, I'm ready to create a soul contract. Like, that's terrifying. Okay, let's go. Send me in, coach. Like, let's get this soul contract ready to go. I'm going to allow this to happen, but then I'm going to triumph over this, and I'm going to learn through this hard time, but then I'm going to fucking kill it here. Like, ups and downs, incredible lessons. You choose 3 exit points in a soul contract, and one's kind of earlier on in life, actually, and then the last 2 are usually closer together near the end. And so you choose 3 exit points, and that's the free will piece. You get to choose, okay, however it's going, your soul, your consciousness can choose one of those exit points. That's predestined. Okay, nobody dies by accident. And you get really brave and you're like, send me in. I'm going to go and get this wisdom. I'm going to go and get these lessons. Okay. So that is the soul's wisdom. But we were talking about cosmic dust and we came off of that. The cosmic dust is the extension of the one soul, or God's source. The way that it extends itself into each one of us at the center of the soul is how it experiences things through us, right? So God is experiencing through you, because at your core, that's who you are. Like, it's like, that's the simplest way to put it. It's like, and when people say like, remember who you really are, I'm like, God, okay. It's true. It's not sacrilegious. Okay. And the other way that God's source, the one soul, can experience time, life, the universe, is through these other windows, which is, there's more windows that we're going to talk about. So we're talking about the windows of the windows that God looks through to have experiences. God's Netflix, if you will. Each one of us is a channel. We are a main character. We are a story. But Earth isn't the only planet with life, as we all know. Think about like every planet, realm. That's like an amazing Netflix selection. And as if each living being, animal, human, galactic being, fairy, angel, ascended master, as if that wasn't all enough channels for God, God also wants to like I was just going to say I was going to call God like a nosy little bugger, but then I was like, I think that's a swear word and but I said it anyway. Okay. So this cosmic dust that is just floating around space are windows because they are extensions of God source's like essence. And it also just happens to be what souls and life are made of. And they're just like scattered everywhere. And what I'm seeing is that there isn't any space that doesn't have it. Like right now, I would be like, maybe we can't see it all. Like with my third eye, I can. And it's like sparkling dust. And like you could just like, you're probably just capturing it when you do this, but in outer space, it seems like a lot more of it out there. Okay. Oh, and that's what they want to talk about. They want to talk about how it happens on Earth. Okay, this is going to be really cool. So how it happens in outer space is this cosmic dust, and they said it tends to gather near nebulas. Okay, have you ever seen like a picture of a nebula or a video of a nebula? And it's like all this cosmic junk, but it's beautiful, and it's like spiraling around. So all of that energy is being pulled into a spiral. The spiral is a vortex. Okay. We just did a video here on YouTube all about vortexes, right? Check out the video, Become a Badass Grid Worker, because I talked all about vortexes on Earth. Vortexes also exist in space. And a vortex is when two powerful energetic ley lines cross, okay, because ley lines go through everything. They're like the veins of the universe, you know, like that energy travels on, and Gaia, our planet, has them everywhere. Anyway, when ley lines intersect, because it's like a cross current, it creates this spiral. It creates like a spiral down or a spiral up, just depending. And energy gets like pulled in like a whirlpool almost and starts to do that. Those are nebulas. So a nebula is like an outer space vortex that is pulling in matter and creating that spiral look. And maybe spiral galaxies are the same way. Maybe we're all on freaking vortexes. That makes sense. And I can just feel the oversoul that I'm like speaking with literally laughing at me as I'm having these realizations, because they know all of this already. And when I just said like, oh, maybe spiral galaxies, because Earth is not a galaxy, I'm sorry, but isn't our galaxy, the Milky Way galaxy, isn't that a spiral galaxy? I'm pretty sure it is. I'm pretty sure Andromeda is. I'm pretty sure. That would mean that all of our galaxies are placed on vortexes. You know what else is placed on vortexes? Sacred sites like the pyramids, sacred sites like Stonehenge. Like think about like on Earth, like so there are sacred sites placed on vortexes for a reason, because of that swirling, powerful energy is a powerful creator. It's a powerful manifestation. So if you're going to have a sacred site where you're going to try to amplify and create things, it's an amplifier. A vortex is an amplifier. Anyway, so I can just see how Earth is a mirror of outer space all the time with the vortexes. And okay, we call them sacred sites or built on these vortex sites. Like we think sacred sites, all of us think the pyramids. I always think about Stonehenge. And I know there's a lot more, I just can't think of any right now. But all of these different sacred sites intentionally placed on vortexes because it holds them, the power there, and then amplifies it by swirling it up or down. That was a huge orb. Oh my God. So think about the universe, and whoever, God or oversouls or whoever, is placing the sacred sites are the galaxies, right? They're like, ooh, here's a vortex spot. Let's put one right here. Let's put one right here. Let's put the way that humans did that here with vortexes. The creator gods are doing that in the universe. Okay, totally lost my train of thought. There's so many things that want to come in, and it's like, it's very nice, and it feels like the being that I've connected to, this oversoul, is very like lighthearted and fun. And that's such a nice energy too, right? When things have been so fucking serious with the eclipse season. Okay. So, okay. Yes, this is what we were about to talk about. So this cosmic dust are the eyes of God, but not creepy, because they don't mean see, they mean experience. God can send its essence, consciousness through to check in on things like Netflix channels. Just check in, just have a little experience. We are Netflix channels, right? We're all doorways to the experience of God source, or windows for the experience of God source. And there's the cosmic dust just filling outer space so that there's not one area where God source can't check in. And then there's these crazy like nebulas where that stuff gets concentrated and swirled. Did you know that nebulas are also like the nurseries of the universe? That's where stars are born. And a lot of people think that's also where souls are born. And I really want to do I've done a video about nebulas, but I want to go deeper into that because I just feel like that would be its whole own video though. Because I know that there's more to, like, there's another layer that I want to understand when it comes to the soul journey, how the nebula fits into the soul. But anyway, moving on. So on Earth now, let's talk about Earth and what is the cosmic dust on Earth, okay? Because if God can experience life through every one of us as being like a Netflix channel, every soul, every being is their own main character, then what they're saying is that, okay, that the also trees, rocks, anything organic is made out of that cosmic dust, although it becomes made physical, and everything that comes to Earth becomes made physical and has to downgrade or descend its frequency to be physical. Same with us. Like, we obviously aren't like, 11th dimension, because we're a physical being, and 11D wouldn't be physical. So this cosmic dust kind of like comes down to Earth, filters down in some way, and Gaia uses that to create, right? So just think like every single thing on Earth that is organic, that has life, is a window for God Source to experience as well. So God Source could also like tune into the channel of like, this third tree out my window. Like, they would all be different though. They would all be different windows. It's just showing me that God Source is unlimited in its ability, his or her ability, God or goddess, to like connect anywhere, check in on anything. Oh, and then I just got corrected. So this oversoul's like, you're viewing this as God Source flipping channels, which I was, right? And they said, just imagine all the channels open at once. Okay. So now we understand that this is how God is everywhere, all the time, simultaneously, all at once, right? Because even though I believe that there is a concentrated, like, I guess I see it as an orb or a sun or something of God's source outside of all dimensions, kind of like watching over us in a loving way. It's also that God's source is everything and is in everything and is the creator of everything and is the experiencer of everything. And I guess in the end, that's all there is. Video done. So I just like, yeah, that's really cool. So it's like anything organic, like a banana, a plant, even a rock is organic, like anything that comes from Gaia, not anything man-made, anything organic has that essence. It is God's source. It is a doorway to God. And then that just means everything is a spiritual tool. That just means everything can take you back to God. You can meditate with the tree or the rock or the leaf, whatever it is, and still get back to God. Because that is how God is getting to us, right? My goodness, how do I sum up a video like this? So we started this by talking about cosmic dust and how it was the windows for God's source to experience things, to come check on things and come through with the essence and be there and anchor into all of the realities and dimensions through this cosmic dust, right? But then the cosmic dust appears differently in different planets, and here on Earth, it's life force. And it's what makes things grow and be alive. It's the difference between alive or not alive. So it has energy running through it or it doesn't, right? Organic energy or not. I don't know. Hold on. I'm being shown this vision and I don't know what it means yet. And that happens a lot when I'm channeling because they're always like 3 steps ahead of what I'm saying. So I just got shown a few steps ago the sun and how this was supposed to like wrap it all up. Okay, so I'm seeing like the sun, and the sun is shining down on earth, and everything is responding to it. Like the leaves unfurl, the flowers open up, we respond to it, animals respond to it, nature responds to it. Everything needs the sun to be alive, to be healthy. So they're showing me how the sun, you know how I said, oh, okay. You know how I said, well, I believe that God source is like outside of all things as this like ball of light, the sun, but I also believe that it is here with us in all things. And they were just showing me that sun for comparison. They're like, yeah, what you said, like the sun. So the sun is outside of all things, like this ball of light, but it can permeate everything. It can come through and create life and permeate everything and touch everything and warm everything and experience everything. And they're saying that's just another way that God, the one soul, I was going to say that's just another way that God or the one soul like nourishes us, takes care of us, loves us, keeps us healthy. And they're like, yes, and yes, and experiences everything. Because remember, this was all about God source being like real nosy and always wanting to experience everything in every way possible. Is there any other like little cracks and crevices that I'm not in? Get me in there. I need to know and feel and experience it all. Like insatiable for knowledge, right? And wisdom and experience. And then they said, well, just imagine then if the sun and sunlight was another embodiment of God source's consciousness or another window for God source, imagine what that would feel like. Because the sun is absolutely made out of cosmic dust and life force and all the things that we're talking about. It is just God source made physical, I guess. And they said, and on every ray of light, on every refraction of that light as it touches things and turns into other light. And they're showing me how light never dies or ends. It just bounces off things, right? It's like, and it keeps going and going and going. And they're just showing me how, like, imagine we talked about how the one soul of God isn't flipping channels, but has all the channels open all at once simultaneously of everything. Every little piece of the universe through the cosmic dust channel, every single one of us, every tree, every rock, every organic, everything, every planet, every piece, every environment, nature on every planet and every being on every planet. And in between, it's the cosmic dust. And in between that, it's the celestial bodies like stars, suns. And then beyond that, they're saying it's also light, right? So light itself is this window for God source to, I have to tell you something funny that just happened, is this window for God source to travel on. So God's consciousness travels on light. Okay. The funny thing that I wanted to say was that I saw this image in my third eye and heard clairaudiently this little like mini like funny version of like a god like traveling like almost like because I'm from Canada, tobogganing on like a stream of sunlight going. Like that was like their way of showing me like this oversoul that I happen to connect to has like a lot of humor, which I really appreciate. Like we come in, travel on light, and see and experience everything as I go through. So all right. So all of that is like hold on. It feels like I need to pull this diagram out. This is too perfect to not pull out at this moment. I know you guys have seen this a million times before. This is my, what do I call this? I had a title for this and I completely forget what it was, but it's like basically like the family tree of souls, right? And so this is just like too perfect of a video. So we have God source at the top, and then we have streamlined consciousness feeding the OverSoul realm, which feeds the mini oversouls, which feeds the soul tribe groups, which feeds you, and you are a focal point of individuated consciousness. So you are this and this and this and this and this. You are all of this. It's all made of the same stuff. It's just traveling in a direction. And then we feel like these separate individuals, but we're really not. And then parallelly, this is you, but also this is you, this is you, this is you. These are simultaneous parallel versions of you. Like, are there even past lives, or is it all just happening simultaneously? If God is happening simultaneously on all channels, then so are you, right? We got to let go of like linear time. And then this is just the funnel of God consciousness heading down to you. So let's end it here. This is a nice little advanced video for you about a million things, but basically the windows that God experiences itself through. All right, so I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much. Stay tuned next month for my Halloween series. If you have not watched last year's, they're freaking hilarious, especially the ones where Brian is co-starring. I mean, we are covering some serious topics, but he just cracks me up. And so don't forget to check out the Halloween series. You can check it out, like just go to the playlists on this channel and you will see it there. And I'll be adding to that with at least 4 new videos this year, if not 5. And so I'm formulating in my mind which kind of Halloween-y videos I want to do for you guys. I've done a lot already, so check them out, but I'll come up with some new fun stuff for you. I love Halloween, and that's why. And then don't forget, if you want to learn how to channel, if you would like to be certified literally as a master channeler and have like absolutely nothing cut off from you, if you want to channel a rock, you can channel a rock. If you want to channel a freaking like cup, you could channel you can channel anything, a crystal, like if you want to be that kind of person, that kind of channeler, a master channeler, where nothing is too much for you, of a challenge for you, you can channel it all. And not only just be able to do it, but do it so accurately, so detailed, then you are being called into psychic light. Check out the link in the description and you can get more information. And I've also laid out the entire curriculum. So no surprises. It's all out on the table, exactly what we're going to cover in every single class together. And yes, I'll be there. It's a live course, so I'll be there with you like every week, going through it, figuring it out together. And it's so much fun to do it with you guys. And I've done so many rounds of psychic light, as you probably know. And my channelers are the only channelers that I would ever trust with my own information. Like I promise you, no one is channeling for me unless they are a clean and ethical channeler. And I know it's pure. It's not coming from their own distortions. And I know that they're using all the clairs, because otherwise you're missing half the picture or 3/4 of the picture sometimes. You need all of them, and you also need to stack them in a certain way, or it's not the whole picture. And I'm just not interested in that, because getting inaccurate readings can really throw you, it's just grody. So come check out the link in the description below for Psychic Light, read the curriculum, be mind blown, and then come on in as my next graduating student and certified master channeler. I love you all so much. Stay tuned for Halloween coming up next month. But before you go, please remember, listen to your heart and the quiet voice within, because you are so much more than the body you are in. I love you, beautiful starseeds. Have a great day. Bye.